What's up, guys? It's your boy Zilai here, and today we're going to be talking about why Go failed to become the main character after Ash left the Pokemon anime. Now, as many of you guys know, Go is a character that was introduced in Pokemon Journeys. He was the co-main with Ash, officially at least. I think people largely still assumed Ash to be the main character as he was. It was about him, and it was his series. But Go is supposed to be the co-main lead. He was representation of Pokemon Go, Pokemon Let's Go, as his name suggests. And his main gimmick in the beginning was that he would catch a ton of Pokemon, which fans didn't really like because it kind of went against what the anime had established for 20 years, which is that, you're supposed to battle a Pokemon, earn its trust, then catch it, and then most trainers, usually only keep a certain amount of Pokemon, the smaller amount, because they form bonds and connections with them. Go, on the other hand, came in and would catch every single Pokemon he would see by just tossing a Pokeball at it. His Pokedex would yell nice or great, and then he would just catch it and check it in Professor Cerise's lab and barely interact with them. That's how Go's character started out. And I think the writers realized from the beginning that he wasn't really connecting with fans because as the series went on, they kind of had to change his arc up a little bit. They started making him have a stronger bond with some Pokemon like the Galarian starters, and Grookey always on his shoulder, like Pikachu is on Ash's shoulder. And they also had to kind of change his full storyline. They had to introduce the whole idea of Project Mew so that goal had a more tangible goal than just like, I'm going to catch every single Pokemon possible, because that really just wasn't connecting. And so clearly Go was introduced as this co-main. He had an initial goal which didn't work, so then the writers had to pivot, do Project Mew, but they didn't just pivot his goal, they also brought in Gary. They brought in Gary Oak to kind of help supplement that story because I think they realized that Go wasn't a strong enough character to carry a show on his own. And that kind of leads into the topic of this video, which is why Go did not continue to become the protagonist of the next Pokemon series following Ash's departure. In fact, Go was kind of kicked out of his own show early. Before we even saw the end of Pokemon Ultimate Journeys, we had the epilogue, to aim to be a Pokemon Master, and it was Ash with all of his old companions in Pokemon, except for Go. They basically have an entire episode where Go deciding that he wants to go on his own journey, and Ash has already decided that he wants to go on his own journey without Go, and then Go turns into the little crybaby that he is, and goes off and cries about it, and then they go their separate ways. And it just kind of shows that Go's character never really grew much. He was still that same crybaby, getting too emotional about things that people didn't connect with and didn't like the entire time. And so by the time it came to the point where, the writers had made Journeys Ash's last series, he became the world champion. It was time for him to move on and for us to move on from Ash and Pikachu. They knew that Go was not a strong enough character to follow on his own and lead a series by himself, which is why we see now with Pokemon Horizons, we have Liko and Roy and characters like that who are completely new with no connection to the previous series. Uh, and that's been going strong for over a year now. And there's been no sign of Go. Go was kicked off his own show, did not even come back for the finale, into aim to be a Pokemon Master, and is just completely gone. And again, a lot of people wonder why. Like, why did Go not connect with people? So, for one, we mentioned, that initial concept of what he used to do. He would just catch Pokemon without forming connections with them. There were other more niche things that made people angry, and like for one, like him catching Suicune. It just felt so undeserved. Suicune's being chased by some Pokemon poachers that he's tied down. Go chucks a Pokeball at it. And then they try to make him like earn Suicune's trust in that episode, and then Suicune decides to stay with him, but it just feels so forced, like he didn't really earn it. Unlike any other trainers in the anime who we've seen with legendaries like Frontier Brain Brandon, seems like, it's a strong, formidable trainer who can command three Reggies, or like Tobias with his Darkrai and Latios, a mysterious, strong trainer. And then we have Go, who literally just caught his first Pokemon, a Scorbunny, a few weeks ago, and now he's catching a Suicune. Meanwhile, we've been following Ash for 20 years and he never caught a Suicune. Things like that made longtime fans of the series and longtime fans of it feel like Go is just being handed everything on a silver platter that all these other trainers had worked so hard for. And I think the writers, like I mentioned, really caught on to that, which is why they, kind of started to give him less screen time. They kind of had to supplement his story with other liked characters like Gary. When Gary's return was announced, that was hype. Like everyone was really excited about that, and that really added to the Project Muse storyline. I mean, I think a lot of people tuned into those episodes for Gary, because Go would not have been able to carry that by himself. And so I think the writers realized that they basically wrote him out of the show 10, 15 episodes before the series even ended so that we could get the spotlight on Ash, the character who we all really cared about and whose story's conclusion we really wanted to see. But yeah, I think it was just a series of bad decisions and not understanding what made Ash work to be a main character because Go just didn't have those traits. He just came off more as annoying and being handed everything and not really working for it. And so I think that they learned from that, and that's why we now have stronger protagonists than Pokemon Horizons. So that's basically why Go did not end up being the next main character of his own series, is just because he wasn't generally liked by fans. His storyline wasn't really handled too well. It kind of flip flopped, and his goal wasn't very clear. And as a result, we got new protagonists in Pokemon Horizons, which has been going strong for a year now. And I think that's been doing a pretty good job. So let me know what you guys think about the character of Go, and if you have any other theories as to why you think that he was not continued on as a main protagonist in the Pokemon anime. But that's it for me. It's me, Boris Zilai. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.